right, so I have finished, or not finished, I've kind of done my eyes on my self portrait. I am continuing to draw very, very lightly. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully, you can see what's going on. I have my photo reference next to me. I'm drawing on it as I need in order to see some of the contour lines. So the next part that I'm going to work on is my nose. So if we go back to the face mapping, one thing we know about the nose, when we are looking straight on, straight view, front view, that the nose is about halfway from the eye line to the chin line. So I'm going to make that line about where the nose is for me. I'm going to measure. So I'm going to take my pencil. I'm placing my fingernail right where that line is, and then I'm pulling it down. And as I see, my nose is less than halfway down. So that's going to be an important measurement. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take lines straight down. I try to use just like a dashed line, lighter line, so I don't cover up all the detail. And I notice where my nostrils, the side of my nose, are compared to those. I'm going to draw that. What's some other lines? Probably here. This shadow is really important. This highlight is very important. This shadow is very important. So, all right. So this first time through, I'm kind of making sure everything is the correct proportion. So relationship, size relationship to one another. And then I'm making sure it's placed correctly. So here we go. Here's halfway. And my nose, as I measured it on my drawing, is a little bit above halfway. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to drop these lines down, and I am going to look at the shape. So it looks like this nostril is that shape. This one's a little different. And then I do like to draw the kind of the tip of my nose or the ball of my nose. Then I have this. This one looks like almost a sideways teardrop or raindrop. Okay, and then, so all really, really lightly. I'm doing this with either my 2B pencil or my H pencil. I'm going to have my eraser here if I need it in order to make any changes. This is kind of a big shadow, and I am looking at it as a shape. So I'm really paying more attention to those shadows, which is why the portrait that you have, it makes it easier if there is strong lighting on it, because it gives you more shapes and spaces to break up some of those broader areas of your face. So we found that it is more difficult to draw the nose because the shading on it is so subtle. So I think I'm pretty good. Here's another little spot I'm going to check on my nose. I'm going to draw a line, just a straight line from the corner of my eye to that bottom corner of my nose. I'm going to do that on my photograph, and then I'm going to do it on my drawing. And what I'm checking, I can put my pencil, and if I slide it over, it should be the same angle, and it's not. It's a little off. So that means I think my nose needs to come up a little bit. The bottom of that nostril is a little higher than I've drawn it. So again, all these planning lines, I am going to erase them later. All right. So here's another thing I can measure. I like to use this measurement. If I take a measurement of my eye, the length of my eye, and then I measure from the inside corner to my eye, down to my nose, I get about there, the middle of that curve. I'm going to do that same measurement here and see how that matches up. And I think, yeah, this is telling me that my nose, just like that angle told me, my nose needs to be a little higher. I thought I raised it enough. I didn't. So everything that we're doing is proportional to those eyes. So we really do need to make sure that your eyes are in the correct spot and proportion. So I know right now it's hard to tell if you have a good likeness. A likeness is whether or not it actually looks like you, because we have all this space. We have like this like bald head. It looks like we have too much space on the side of the head, but I actually suspect that I'm going to kind of narrow that. But I encourage you to have somebody else double check things for you. And when you ask somebody for feedback or a critique, it's really good to be specific, such as, do you think my nose is too long or too short? Or do you think, I wouldn't say, do you think it looks like me? At this point, they're not going to be able to tell you that. All right, there's my nose. So there's other shadows around here that I want to kind of place or highlights, shapes. Here I have this. So one thing I like to use as a bridge between the nose and the lips is this little area here under the nose. So as I draw around that, and then my lips, shadow. Now in this picture, you really can't even see the difference between my lip, where my lip ends, and my chin begins. So I'm gonna have to do kind of the best I can to find that line. See how it's very sketchy though? And then, all right, so here's a line I want to look at. If I go straight down from my pupil, where is that? Where are the corners of my mouth in relationship to that? And mine are a little bit farther in. So I think that's the line I'm going to draw first, or those are the lines I'm going to draw first, those straight down. And the corners of my mouth are going to be in closer than that. So how far down do I draw my lips? I'm going to draw the shape. Again, keeping it proportional. Here's a measurement that could be interesting. If I measure that distance from my nose to my upper lip, it lands about to that silver band. I'm going to go check that with the height of my eye. So if I take the height of my eye, so from that top fold or crease above my upper eyelid to my lower eyelid, it looks like that's the same measurement. So where is that here? All right, I'm about there. I might need to nudge it down a little bit lower. All right. So my upper lip, as I have talked about in class, one of the things that does the most in helping you identify or show a likeness is this middle line. It's usually very unique. So look at where it curves down, where it curves up. This looks like it's a little bit more gentle of a curve. Something I can compare here is how tall is this part of the lip compared to this part of the lip. And I am seeing that I think this needs to be raised up. That line comes up a little bit more. So I am keeping it sketchy so I can change. I'm keeping it light. So I just need to make that adjustment there. I can make the improvements that I need. In the corners of my mouth here, I have this. What else? I guess I didn't finish this. I had it in, but it wasn't in the right spot. So I'm going to finish that. All right, I see this. I see this. All right, at this point, we just have this floating face. I would double check, things, but at this point, we should be good to start adding the chin and then the hairline, ears, neck, and that stuff. So there's the second step, or the second, or the next thing that you do in your self-portrait. The next video is going to address the chin, ears, hairline, and neck.